Next story, we're going to move on to the other side by Yuga. So they've just come with a small announcement. We're not going to spend too much time on it. They've definitely been quiet lately, as is reflected very, very clearly by their floor price. And we do see that with Yuga. There tends to be a flurry of announcements. Everything pumps for a couple of weeks, sometimes months, and then they go quiet for a couple of months while they're building. So the first tweet in almost a month is that from the other side account is the other deed expanded in is your game board, but look to the skies where the constellations align to provide a vision of the future. While the ancient coders take center stage in the legend of Mara, allies will aid in the battle to defend Otherside against Shattered. And we're going to look closely at this picture, but before we do, I just want to read the thread. It's not too long. So you won't be going into battle alone, Voyagers. Otherside will be announcing allies both with other Yuga PFP collections and with a select group of third-party PFP collections to enlist reinforcements into the Legends of Mara battle. Owning one of these battle ally NFTs creates more ways to vanquish the Shattered and gather their treasures. A low-tier environment with limited hunter slots could gain a strategic upper hand in fighting the Shattered, possibly leading to a better spot on the leaderboard. This info, along with previously other info, can always be found on their official site. This is the last tweet, so don't click on anything that you don't recognize. So if we have a look here at this picture, it's quite interesting. I always like these sort of like having to figure them out. You've got your coda in the center over here, and in the center of the world, and then you've definitely got the Legends of Mara happening over here. You've got that M over there. You've got something happening there with burning and firing, and you've got the number 2. So that's next is that. So they're telling you number 1 is here, number 2 is there, number 3 is there, number 4 is, I think, this, and number 5 is the inner circle over there. So yeah, man, I'm sure there's guys with a lot of opinions. I don't know if you guys see anything that I don't.
I'm like kind of checking it out. I don't see too much else. I think that's it, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean,
did anyone break it down on Twitter? Like any Twitter threads that kind of like
there were one or two. I didn't want to spend too much time on it because it's really vague and everyone's just guessing, and I don't want anyone to sort of like think. But basically, that your other deed is a game, and it's a game board that's being expanded. And when used in conjunction with different PFPs, obviously the Yuga PFPs will give it more value, but other PFPs as well will give it some value. All of that will come into play in the Legends of Mara, where some other communities will also be welcome. But the biggest thing out of this is that the spotlight is on the coders, and that we're not going to be fighting alone. It's going to be groups. So it's not just Philip with his single NFT, but it's going to be groups of coders and different, so maybe there's 12 months, there's 12 constellations. Maybe there's going to be 12 different teams that you can join depending on your PFP. Right, and maybe that's what the 5 refers to in that thing, is that if you own these PFPs, you'll be in number 1, and the other 7 they haven't announced yet, that could be the other collections that we don't know, and those will be maybe the 12, and maybe that's where the constellations come into it. That seems to be one of the themes that they're thinking, but no one really knows for sure. I mean, it's Yuga. That's how they do things, is they get guys like us to talk about it.
Speaking of confusing things, well, actually,